What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about an interesting GTA 6 rumor, to be sure, and it does get me thinking. It is something I want to talk about, the length of this game, but I want to take an angle, at least initially in the beginning here, to say that I think this rumor is full of BS. It screams all the signs of, like, this is just a random thing. Look, I'm not here to police GTA stuff, okay? You can say what you want, but there's probably not a bigger game, or even a game that has more fake rumors about it daily than GTA 6. And that's just because all these clickbait accounts, even a lot of GTA centric accounts, just are insanely, I think, wanting that attention and the click throughs and all that jazz. So, of course, when you make a GTA 6 rumor up, just thin air, it's going to get attention. But again, to be fair, I mean, could there be something behind it? Maybe. And is it something that interests me? It definitely does. You think about this game, I'm very excited about it. How big is it, right? And not just big, like how big is the land, right? How big is this open world? How long is it going to take? This is a game people have been waiting for forever. The next time you get a GTA game, I don't even want to think about, what decade that would be in. So I get it, wanting this to be a long game, and I think it will be. But is it going to be this long? I highly doubt it. So let's just look at the leak. And again, it screams just coming from absolutely nowhere, like just they made it up and typed it. According to Leaker, so it's not even a specific person, the main story of GTA 6 is 75 hours. And they literally break it down. Prologue, chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The ending is set to be outside of the US and has been worked on the most besides graphics. Now, I mean, that last sentence screams like no idea what they're talking about. Again, like according to Leaker, according to what Leaker? So I think just having like the chapter breakdown is their way of making it seem more official, right? Like if they give a breakdown, they say, oh, chapter 4 is this many hours. It makes it seem like they know what they're talking about more. So number one, it just doesn't seem like it was typed out all that well. Number two, and this is where I do want to get like actual, okay, let's get constructive. Let's not just say this is a garbage rumor, which it is, but let's actually get constructive about it. Okay. 75 hours is just not realistic, I think, for a game like this. You go to some of the biggest games of all time. And when I say biggest, I'm talking like the length of the story, okay? You look at those games, and this would put it in like the top 3. IGN actually did a nice list maybe a couple of years ago where they went through all of these games, and I think they did like their top 10, top 11 list. Not like their own opinion, but like statistically, which games are the longest. This would put it in like the top 3 or 4, okay? Now, you go back, and it's not like these games are short. You go back to GTA 4, you're in the 20 range. You go to GTA 5, I think it's sitting at around like 30, 35 hours on how long to beat for the main story. Okay, now you actually go to Red Dead 2, and this was interesting to me. You go to Red Dead 2, and the average on how long to beat was like 50 hours. Now, that's an incredibly long time. The more that I look at how long to beat, the more I don't necessarily always agree with it. Sometimes numbers are inflated or deflated. I checked Reddit. I was just checking around the internet, like, hey, have people posted their run times? Like, how long did they experience Red Dead? And that can absolutely range. I saw people that said it took them 30 hours. It took them 42 hours. I remember seeing that. Like, so let's just say Red Dead 2 is anywhere between 35 to 50 hours. All right, that is long. 50 hours is long. Are we jumping from 50 to 75, though, right? That is a massive increase in time. And again, when you look at games that are that long, you're looking at some of the longest Monster Hunter games on the planet. You're looking, like Persona 5. Persona 5 plain took me, I think, 95 hours. I think Persona 5 Royal takes somewhere in the range of like 100 to 120 hours. This would be one of the longest things of all time. And I know people throw out like, and this is interesting, like you think about The Witcher, and even The Witcher 3, it's only like 30 hours to the main story. I think what people get messed up with when they think about this stuff so often is they say, okay, well, I put like 200 hours into The Witcher 3. I put like 200 hours into GTA 5. That's fine. I'm not saying you're lying. I'm saying actually think about what you did in the game and actually think about what this rumor is supposed to mean, okay? This rumor indicates that the story, meaning you go from quest 1 to quest 2 to quest 3, there's 35 quests in the game, let's say, okay? And you jump from the first to the second to the third to the fourth, and you go through it. It's saying that would take 75 hours. And that's why I think how long to beat sometimes is inflated. I don't actually think Red Dead 2, if you strictly do the story, I don't think it's 50. I do think it's more 35 to 40 hours. So you're not going to convince me that this game all of a sudden is going to break that. Even Personas, you know, an okay amount of Personas is grinding, and you kind of factor that into the main game. But in Persona, it's kind of difficult, right? Because if you're under leveled, you can't really, like that 100 hours for Persona 5. It's all kind of baked into the same thing because you kind of have to grind and you kind of have to consider that part of the story, because if you're not grinding, you're not going to be able to beat like the main bosses and the main kind of areas, right? So there is nuance, and again, I think that's why I wanted to make this video, is there is nuance to it, and it's not just all black and white. But I mean, is it going to take some people 75 hours to beat GTA 6? Yes. But is it literally, if you do just the main quest, going to take 75 hours? No. You cannot convince me that's going to happen. Now, if it takes you 40 hours, and then there's another 40 hours of side stuff, which gets you to 80, okay, could I buy that? 100%. I'm not saying this game is going to be like 10 hours long. In terms of my opinion or prediction, I'm sure we can talk about this as we get closer. To be honest with you, I would not be shocked if Rockstar said something as we got really close. Oftentimes, developers will kind of tell you how long you're looking at. They'll sometimes overinflate it. They might not just be talking about the story. So again, it gets a little complicated, but I would not be shocked if it's 40-hour story, 40-hour side stuff. And that actually is a good discussion of like, okay, should there actually be more side stuff than main story? Should it be 40 hours and then 60 hours to do everything else? And I think that's kind of where it gets fun. Most games have at least equal, if not more, side stuff than the main stuff. So if it's a 35-hour game, say The Witcher 3, I think that's probably a good example. It's 35 hours. The side stuff, the collectible, everything that goes into The Witcher 3, oh my God, you're easily not even doing another 35. You're probably doing 50, 60, 70 hours on top of that 35. So again, it's not an argument of or is the game going to be 75 hours long? I'm sure it will. I'm sure we'll spend 75 plus hours in the game. Is the story itself going to be that long? No, that would put it in top 3 contention, and you have to argue like the logistics of those top 3, like I was getting at earlier. Are those top games that have that length, is it really all story? And the answer is probably not. So I just don't see it happening. I would say 30 to 50 is your really big range. Rockstar can fill it in later in another 6-7 months from now. I'm sure they'll say it, and you kind of go from there. So sorry for those that, I mean, believe what you want, but I'm going to be pretty aggressive on this because I play a lot of games. I look at a lot of games. I know how that stuff works. Even though I can't make a game myself, I do know how the length works, and I can tell you and wager anything on it that is not going to be the case. This is just a made-up rumor, but I do think it's fun for sure. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.